We're working on the skirt sample, and we just finished step 7A, which was to go ahead and place a stitch 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. You can make this a stay stitch if you don't need to gather it in, if this is a straight skirt, or you can make this a basting stitch. Turn the dial from 2.5 for a stay stitch up to 5 or 4, whatever it goes to on your machine at home, for your basting if you need it for like an an A-line skirt. But this one we just did a regular 2.5, did a 1/4 inch away from the edge, and I stopped right here, right at the seam. Okay, then I went ahead and I pressed this up 1/4 of an inch using that edge as a guideline. And press that right up. Having that stitch a 1/4 of an inch away helps to press that up, and we press that up 3/4 after we press that up 1/4. So 1/4 and 3/4 all the way around. Now you can take some pins and you can anchor this at the side seams, placing this seam to seam. Matching seam to seam right on top of each other. And then we can go place another pin right here at the center. And divide the hem up a little bit more. Continue doing our pins. And then you have your choice of what type of stitch you'd like to use as far as your hand hem goes. But I think honestly the best stitch would be the hidden catch stitch. So use as many pins as you would like to work on the hem. And then let's go ahead and prepare a thread. So I have a thread and I have prepared this 2-ply. And it's long enough to maybe do half of the skirt. I'm not trying to do the whole skirt at one time. If I do from side seam to side seam on the front with one length of that thread, and then on the back, that would be good. 2 times is fine. You never want to do a hem, a huge hem with just one length of thread. You can use several lengths. So if you pull out a section, then you only have to replace that section rather than the whole entire hem. So here we have our hem. It's all pinned up here and ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and do the hidden catch stitch. So I'm going to turn this so it's right side in and I can see the wrong side to work with the hem here for a second. And if you'd like to, you can go ahead and measure and mark up 3/8 of an inch or 1/2 of an inch. So here at the bottom of the hem, your catch stitch can be 3/8 of an inch or 1/2 of an inch. I'm going to go for 3/8. Just like we did for practice. If you want to, you can mark the whole hem or not. So I have my thread, and I went ahead and, like I said, trimmed those thread ends, and I've waxed it from the knots all the way down to the eye of the needle. I'm going to go ahead and remove my pin here at my side seam. It doesn't matter which side seam I start at. And I'm going to go under the side seam here, and I'm going to come up right on the edge. Great, so I've anchored it. The knot is hidden underneath the seam. It's a little loose thread, get that out of the way. And now we're going to do our catch stitch. So if you remember the catch stitch, we're going forward, but the needle's actually going back. So I can catch the body of the garment and that edge at the same time. So I'm going to catch the body of the garment and the edge at the same time. Body of the garment, just a couple little stitches there. The edge right back towards me. Let's see what that looks like on the other side. Just a couple of little dots. That's all we need. And if you like to do make a looser hem than this, you could catch the body on one stitch and then the hem on the other. Body on the one, hem on the other. But I thought I'd make this sort of tight so it would wear well. I'm going to go up 3/8 of an inch, catch that body of the garment and that edge, aim back towards myself, and pull through very easily my waxed thread. So then I'm going to repeat this stitch until I get to the other side seam, and then I'm going to hide the knot underneath the side seam. Up 3/8 inch, catch that edge, bring that stitch back towards myself. And that concludes step number 7B.